Have you guys taken a good look at the back of the labels of the foods available at the supermarkets? Because let me tell you, each time I go in there, and when I go shopping, there's a specific, allotment of food that I'm going there for. Vegetables, sometimes some grains, some beans, you name it. There's really not much that I need from the supermarket. It's one of the beautiful things about being a vegan. You really minimize what you need or what you think you need. It's a very simple lifestyle and it's beautiful. It's very simple, but at the same time it affects so many things that are part of such a bigger picture, like the health of the environment and not contributing to the murder of animals through genocide. It's amazing to me that here in 2018 people still believe they need to eat animal flesh. It blows my mind. But every time I go into the supermarket, I deliberately go around, grabbing things off the shelves and looking at the ingredients labels. And what you'll find is that if you go and you pick up some of the mainstream garbage off the shelves and look at the ingredients and then do research on those ingredients, you'll find that those constituents negatively affect human health, negatively affect human cognition, heart health, cardiovascular health, you name it. The list goes on and on and on and on. The food supply, you guys, has been spiked with constituents that dumb down the health of the body. And when you dumb down the health of the body, you dumb down the health of the mind, because the mind and the body are intimately connected. This is one of the greatest ways that they're employing mind control on the masses through the food supply. There are estrogen mimickers in the food supply, inorganic minerals and compounds, accumulative poisons, excessive amounts of chlorine, packaging, toxic plastics. Most of the packaging that this garbage is packaged in off gases, and it damages the food. It makes it even more unhealthy. There are estrogen mimickers, hormone disruptors, gene disruptors, things that damage DNA. The list goes on and on and on and on. It makes you wonder what their intentions are. Now, I have my own personal beliefs as to what their intentions are. Chances are, if you've seen more than 5 of my videos, you're somewhat aware of what I believe their intentions are for slipping these foods into the food supply. What's even creepier is that they seem to deliberately add more poisons, sugar, excitotoxins, you name it, processed goods, artificial colors, GMOs into the food supply for the children. Children come into this world, at least they used to, with a much more open consciousness. I remember my youth, I felt so much closer to nature. And each year, as I continue to eat the system's food and be programmed, I lost my connection with that webbing. It took me a long time to get that back. But they spike the food supply of the children to dumb down the youth, because the youth has a closer connectivity to an open perspective. Plus, if you can get them young, you've got them for life, pretty much. So, when I was younger, my friends and I would play out in nature. We would climb trees. We would dream, things that children do. Nowadays, children are stuck to electronics. Electronics have really taken over the minds of the youth and the adulthood. So you got toxic food, you got toxic water, you've got toxic education, you've got toxic entertainment, you've got toxic technology, toxic air. Something's wrong here, ladies and gentlemen. So this channel serves as I hope my channel can serve a purpose for you, is what I'm getting at. I hope that it can inspire you to realize and recognize some of this stuff that's going on out here, the toxicity, the poisoning, so that you don't have to fall short to that. There's a lot of things that we don't have control of as humans, but we do have control of what we put into our mouths and into our systems. And everything you put into your system, everything you put into your mouth dictates how your body regenerates and repairs and rebuilds itself. Therefore, if you want to have a long, prosperous life, if you want to have a happy life, which I think everyone wants to have, you should probably take care of your health. It's the most important thing that we have access to, that we can control. On top of that, the healthier you get, the more you see the insanity out here, the more you can actually transcribe the coding of the matrix and see past the illusions, see past the mind control. Who doesn't want to do that? But then again, ignorance is indeed bliss, and it's easier for most people to stay numb to the truth than to wake up to it, because that would mean that you have to have some responsibility now and own up to your actions and start making a difference here in this world. I think many people don't want to take care of their health, and many people don't want to wake up. I hate that term, wake up. It's such a new age term, but it's accurate to some extent, depending on how you look at it. I don't think a lot of people want to wake up to the truth, because it means that they have to have something more going on in their life other than what they've become accustomed to and used to. Becoming aware of the insanity out here in this world can lead to stress. Most people don't want excessive stress in their life. There's ways to mitigate that stress by using adaptogens and meditation, you name it. But unfortunately, as a culture, as a species, most people seem to be very lazy and happy with their sedentary lifestyles. And they've become used to the grind of the 9 to 5 and just not really seeing past what they've become used to as their schedule. Now, I'm not condemning work. I'm not trying to judge people. I've looked at the statistics. I've looked at the ins and outs of this thing, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt that here in the United States, the population is heavily sick. Again, I quote this quote often, but in 1976, the U.S. Public Health Department said that only 1.5% of all Americans were actually healthy. Again, in 1976, the U.S. Public Health Department said that only 1.5% of all Americans were actually healthy. That was in the 70s. The sickness has gone upwards. More diabetes than ever, more cancer, more obesity, more mental pathologies, you name it. So, the statistics prove that we've become a very unhealthy nation. Now, when you destroy the health of the body, you hinder and destroy the health of the mind. And that's why so many people have been conditioned to think that it's okay to become this. We've just become a very slobby species. The things that we support with our hard-earned money, the destruction of the ecosystem, the destruction of the rainforest, the genocide of animals. This is the land of the dead, ladies and gentlemen. This is the culture of death. You don't have to swim around in the energy that these people are swimming around in. Just because the masses are doing something does not mean that you have to participate in it, and you choose to not participate in it, and then you take action to sever your connection to it. Walking in the opposite direction of the herd is highly beneficial, because they all seem to be walking off a cliff and they seem to be happy with it. So you start taking your power back by changing what you put into your system, what you put on your skin, what you put in your system, in your body, what you eat, what you put in your hair. This is a multiple pronged thing. It's not just diet. It's what you think, what you feel, what you breathe, what you drink. These are foundational prerequisite virtues towards becoming a healthier person. You regain the clarity and expansion and totality of your mind by taking care of the hardware of your body. Because, as I said earlier, the mind and the body are intimately connected. That's how, in traditional Chinese medicine, they approach the physiology. They view the mind and the body as intimately connected. It's one part. It's part of the whole being. In Western medicine, they try to isolate the mind and isolate the body to the point where if you have a mental disorder, you go to see a mental therapist or a psychiatrist, and they try to prescribe medications to work on your mind. And that works on the body, ladies and gentlemen, because these are different drugs that have effects on the way that the brain chemistry works. But it just, in my opinion, and these are just opinions, these aren't medical facts, the way that they go about treating things doesn't approach the holistic picture that something from like traditional Chinese medicine would, where the system is wholesome. They try to nourish the body to bring balance to the mind. I'm not saying that's the case always, but by bringing nourishment into the body, you can actually start to affect the mind, because oftentimes the mind is just a mirror with what's going on in the physiology. So I think we've been completely confused here in this matrix. I think they've gotten us young through the education system. They taught us the food pyramid, which is nothing more than one moment. And a package was delivered. That's actually some herbs. that I had shipped from California, Southern California. But you know how dogs get when the UPS man comes, they go crazy, or the mailman. But they've taught us the food pyramid. The food pyramid is a mind control diagram, ladies and gentlemen. The food pyramid will teach you that you need to eat dead carcass, and it's confused people as to what ratios of foods they need. It has the incorrect amount of fats, the incorrect amount of chlorophyll, greens, vegetables, herbs. It's just insane. So there's been a handful of different ways that they've attempted to numb us to the truth and affect our physiology. They've damaged our hormones, our glands, you name it. So my whole system, my whole approach to health is we get healthy and the mind starts opening and we get more power, more of the potential power of our physiology back. We start to see things that we couldn't see before. We start to enhance the senses, so to speak. The smell can become, the scent, or the nose can become much more powerful. You can start smelling things better. The vision can clear up. You start seeing things better. The field of vision can open up. You can take in more color. You can start having more tactile sensation. Your skin can become more sensitive. We're evolving. That to me is the goal of living, the goal of life. The meaning of life is to evolve and to merge with the divine, and we do that through health and Kundalini. And Kundalini and health go hand in hand. I'm going to wrap this one up, you guys. Just a brief little update. If you want multiple hours of bonus content, you can head over to www.patreon.com/Sacred Serpent and become a $5 member, and you'll gain access to multiple hours of there's multiple hours of content that you cannot gain access to here on the public page. I offer this service as a donation to my channel, and you donate and you get a lot of stuff back. There's 5 different reward tiers. There's a $5 one, a $15 one, a $25 one. So if you go onto my webpage, the Patreon page, take a look around at the rewards, the subscriptions, and see which one suits you if you're interested in donating to my cause. I talk about Kundalini heavily over there. I talk about different stuff, occult stuff, stuff about nutrition, recipes, just all sorts of stuff. So if you like my channel and you want more content, there is an option for you if you wish to donate to my cause. I plan on continuing doing the free videos. I try to keep these videos frequent. I'm going to start posting weekly here on the YouTube page because the recent 2-month deficit without any videos kind of, I don't want to continue doing that. I had been focusing most of my energy on the Patreon page, trying to get the bulk of all the content up, and I did a pretty decent job doing that. There's, I think, over 450 posts on there, over 200 different videos. There's a lot of different stuff to keep people who are interested in my content stimulated. So on behalf of your health, on behalf of this world becoming more pristine, on behalf of the negative hand of the archons being dismantled by the expansion of human consciousness and the reawakening of Kundalini within our physiology, on behalf of our connection or getting stronger to source, may peace be with you all. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please leave comments, questions, suggestions. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button for frequent updates. Peace out.